Yeah,
we do so many things better, and if these people would stop player hating and learn from us, there'd be a lot less hacks, a lot less horror, a lot more decentralization, a lot more robustness. How many of these projects have decentralized front ends with multiple maintainers, multiple code bases, like almost
so
none.
few, and none of them even understand the value in it.
Right.
Like otherwise they would do it. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
like NFT
And then-
projects where they can change the NFTs to dick pics whenever they want. You're like Trump's NFTs. You're like, oh, so you can just, the guy. Oh, he forgot to pay server bill. All your NFTs are gone now. Oopsie.
Gone now. Yeah.
You're all idiots. You're so stupid.
One of the most seasoned crypto and macro analysts, Richard Hart, is going to give us a full rundown of his upcoming project, PulseChain, including details like release date and how it will stand out from the crowd. Richard will also provide us with a comprehensive briefing on PulseX and Bitcoin, covering topics such as the future performance of these cryptocurrencies and whether or not investing in them is a good idea at the present time. Richard Hart is also going to share his insightful views regarding all cryptocurrencies and the launching date of his new project, PulseChain. So make sure to stick around to the end of this video so that you don't miss anything. Details for the PulseChain have been discussed by Richard Hart.
What can I say? Yeah, like a streaming company needs to write a big check to pay them for it, and then they can stream it. But until a streaming company writes a big check, they can't play it, and the world will just not see it. So it's a function of
Details for the PulseChain have been discussed by Richard Hart.
Content acquisition at one of these large things, like pulling the trigger, basically.
Why Richard Hart force everyone to buy Hex Dip? What's the reason behind it?
I have to point this out to people. Some guy bought a massive Hex Dip back in 2020. A lot of people did, but this one guy that was murdering the price earlier this week, he bought like a 75 or 85% dip, and then the price went up a lot, and then went down a lot, and now he's selling at only 100x returns before staking. He got paid a lot more. I mean, I think he was staked for big payday, which is a minimum 33% payout extra. So he's making massive, insane gains because he bought a dip. And had he not bought that dip, he wouldn't have had 100x. He might have had a 25x. That's a big difference. So now you have the price down 90, 95%. And people don't see the opportunity. They're just like, oh, it sucks. You're like, does it suck? I see a guy selling at 100x returns right now because he bought a similar dip back then. So you look at a dip now and you don't see the similarity. You know, like I never can predict the hex price. But if you look at the chart, it's by and large up and to the right. And the people that have made the most money in it have sat through the most dips. So imagine the difference in your risk between buying 20 times higher a year ago and buying 20 times less now. It's less risk. Paying less for stuff, and when it's the same stuff, like would you rather buy a car for 1 unit of price or 20 units of price? It's the same car. You're like, oh, I'll take it for 20 times less, please. So by getting things cheaper is less risky than getting the same thing for much more money.
According to Richard Hart, if cryptocurrencies did not exist, startups would be my best alternative.
Startups. It's the second best performing asset class, and I've been doing them my whole life.
Yeah.
So I would just keep making businesses.
And with the proceeds from those businesses, what do you think you would have done?
Make more businesses.
All right.
I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, look what Peter Thiel did, right? Peter Thiel made a business, X.com, which merged with PayPal. And then he invested in Facebook. And then he invested in a startup that basically like was EOS.
Yeah.
And then, of course, E.S. Dunton, everyone's had about Bitcoin. Lol, their foundation. But he made a killing there. And then he started Palantir. And then he started like a longevity VC. And he had like, just keeps starting things. So, seems fine. Bill Gates keeps starting things. Jeff Bezos keeps starting things. Elon Musk keeps starting things. Richard Hart keeps starting things. We see ways to make the world better. We do it. So I would do the same.
Cool.
I would do the same thing, whether crypto existed or not. There's a million things wrong with the world you can fix, and people will happily pay you. Nope, the tail can't wag the dog. Crypto is too small to move gold. Period. If every single crypto holder dumped their entire load into gold, it wouldn't move it, which is why its gains suck. Because there's not enough money in the world to buy its stupid price up, because it's too heavy. Its market cap is too big to go up.
Oh, I kind of see what you mean. So even if we did all pile in, it wouldn't have moved the price because of the size of the market. All right.
Yep.
Good answer.
And by the way, they're mining that stuff all the time. And the more the price goes up, the more they mine. So, when Bitcoin price goes up, they don't mine any extra. They mine very smallly extra because they overrun the retargeting algorithm by like a little tiny bit, but you're still in the single digit inflation, right? You're going to go from like 1.7 to like 1.8% inflation. But with gold, they really do mine more. At some point, they could just grab an asteroid and have it land here, and then you're like, oh, we just 100x the gold supply. So like, if gold was going to be good, it'd be good. It's not good. It's limp. In some countries, not only is it limp, it's actually tax disadvantaged as well. There's a lot of countries where they restrict what kinds of gold you can buy and not pay VAT. And having to pay like 20% extra on your investment up front sucks badly. And then you've got constant overhead costs of storing it. And then you've got someone has to test that it's real instead of gold-plated tungsten, which is nearly identical.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, 1 ounce bars and thicker bars out there that are just gold-plated tungsten. So like, it's just not good, man. Think about it this way. Warren Buffett has a good take on this. He has a lot of good takes on a lot of stuff. He doesn't have a good take on crypto, but he's got a good take on gold. You dig it out of the ground to bury it back in the ground in a bank vault.
Yep.
And it produces exactly what? You moved its location in the ground. Congrats. So, farmland is more productive, businesses are more productive.
While Ethereum and other forks launched with 0 coins, PulseChain founder Richard Hart claims thousands will be available at launch.
Well, the difference is, I'll answer that question for you very specifically. When you make a fork of Ethereum, let's say, what's a good example? You make a fork of Ethereum. Do you have users? Nope. Only if they know your fork exists. Okay. Well, how are they going to know your fork exists? You have to tell them. All right. And what are the useful things on your chain? Well, people have to launch their coins from scratch on your chain because your chain launched empty. So Polygon, BSC, AVAX, Phantom, they all launch empty. And because they launch empty, that means you have to go attract projects to launch their coin on your code base. And so you're starting from scratch. PulseChain is not starting from scratch. PulseChain has everyone's projects already there. Now, if it's fake DeFi and has oracles or other crap that's off chain, that stuff doesn't come over. Or like USDT. Can you redeem them for $1? No. Of course not. So like, The difference with PulseChain is it's launching with tens of thousands of coins at launch and tens of thousands of coins trading at launch. And with all those other forks of Ethereum, they all start empty. There's a big difference. You're doing the world's largest airdrop versus no airdrop. This huge, 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 huge difference. And that's the reason why it's harder. What we're doing has never been done before, and it is hard to do. So launching empty forks of Ethereum, way easy to do. Launching stateful forks, hard to do.
As a seasoned professional in the field of marketing, Richard Hart offers his insights here.
I still prefer maximally effective on-ramping. I still don't like ads that don't work. And most ads do not work. I don't think billboards work. I don't think sports advertising works. I don't think race cars work. I think direct mail works. I've never heard anyone complain, you gotta, how do you know whether ads work or not? People tell you. That's how they found you. Or at least they complain and say, oh, I hate this ad. So at least you know a person that has high net worth and is digital, saw it, evaluated it, understands it, or has the opportunity to. And those are things I never saw with any of the other ads. So, I never saw Hexagon say, oh God, I'm so glad I saw that sports ad, or I'm so glad I saw that NASCAR ad, or I'm so glad, I've never heard those words uttered.
Yeah, we don't get the feedback. Right.
Yet, nor do you see spikes in traffic when the things occur. Traffic flat, no difference. No clicky click. So if no one's clicking, how good can the ad be? Not good. So I think direct mail is the best. Now maybe calling works. I don't know. Maybe bigger seminars where you charge people to enter. That seems to work for a lot of stuff. That seems to work for a lot of things. A lot of steak knives, a lot of milkshakes, a lot of real estate, a lot of Amazon drop shipping. A lot of that stuff is, buy my program, here, check this out. It works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I know that
These are Richard Hart's most recent thoughts on the Federal Reserve in relation to these cryptocurrencies. What are your thoughts on the professional guidance offered by Richard Hart? Don't be shy. Drop a comment and let us know what you think. We've put a lot of effort into creating this video and hope it's been a valuable resource for you on your crypto adventure. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video from us. You can also follow us on Twitter for faster updates. We see you in the next video.